Another story in my book that I've called Saving a Family from Ruin also was a workplace-related epiphany of sorts for me. It came at a time when I was questioning the value of what I did for a living and the impact I was having. It was in 1998 that I attended the $1 Million Roundtable meeting in Chicago. This is a very big sales-related convention of 7,000 agents from around the world, representing some 200 companies. And during that meeting, during one of the platform presentations, with all 7,000 attendees present, a video was shown of the winners of a contest they held every year called the Real Life Story Competition. In it, agents and consumers told stories of the real value of life insurance. This story was very moving. It was a young widow, probably in her 30s, two young kids playing in the backyard and talking about their dad. And the husband and father had applied for insurance on a Friday and was killed 2 days later on Sunday in a tragic automobile accident. And the mother talked tearfully about how the insurance proceeds enabled her to pay off her mortgage and provide for the kids' education. And there wasn't a dry eye in the audience that day, but tears were running down my cheeks for a very different reason. You see, this story sounded familiar to me, and it wasn't confirmed until the end of the video when they interviewed the New York Life agent who had sold the policy. And I was the only one who knew the rest of the story. And the rest of the story was this. Several months before, that claim had come across my desk. Big, thick file with a note from the legal department recommending that I deny the claim. And the reason was that no premium was paid at the time of the application. And hence, we had no legal liability. The coverage wasn't even enforced, technically. But there was an extenuating circumstance that they mentioned in their note to me, which is there was a check on the desk of the deceased, signed by the deceased, and made out to New York Life for the premium. Now, I didn't read that thick file. I didn't know about the wife and the kids. I did think about the fact that it was going to cost the company a fair amount of money to pay the claim, and we didn't have the legal obligation to do so. But I did ask myself, what's the right thing to do here? And the right thing to do was to pay that claim. So I decided pretty quickly, in a couple of minutes, to approve it and pay the claim. But that decision wasn't personal to me until I came to Chicago and saw this video. I didn't know that they had even submitted this case, and they didn't mention anything about the possibility that the claim could be denied. So I felt right at that moment that God was speaking directly to me, reassuring me of the value of what I did for a living. And I knew this could not be a coincidence. Not when there are 7,000 agents from that audience, 200 companies represented. This was one story of one family who bought insurance with one company, and one executive had to make this decision, and that executive was me. I told that story. The real value of this was I told that story to thousands of New York Life agents and employees. And it gave me a chance to communicate on the importance of what they did for a living, the real significance of the life insurance they were providing to consumers. And it also gave me an opportunity to express my faith. And the agents and the employees greatly appreciated a man in my position willing to step up and express my faith. So this moment in Chicago was a real blessing to me, and it moved me very deeply, and it also encouraged me to reinforce my decision to go to divinity school.